Hello and welcome to part 3 of Dry Wash. I'm George Coll and thank you for coming by to get this painting moving along. Today we concentrated on balancing and defining more clearly shapes. So we started out the painting with bold shapes, thin colors. Now we're really getting into the detail of the junipers and the cliffs. I concentrated on those two areas today. And so with that, and with homework, I want you to do the other side of the cliffs and work on the junipers. To do that, what I did was to expand my screen so I could more clearly see the detail on my computer screen. So if you need the images, get onto my website and sign up for my newsletters. And you can get those for free. But if you also get on my website, you can also sign up for a monthly subscription and view all my library of videos. So let's get outside and paint with your friends, get critiques, and don't be intimidated by a blank canvas. All right, let's get to painting. Hey, good morning and welcome to part 3 of Dry Wash. I'm George Coll and today we're going to get into a little bit more detail and more balance. I'm going to start really getting these shapes tied in with the surrounding colors. And that really is the challenge of this next part of this series. So what I'm doing on my computer, where I have the image, is I expand it and make it larger. I used to have a big monitor, which I love to do it on, but when I have my Apple, it's not compatible with the screen, at least the connection. So I have to get that fixed. But my laptop does just fine. Now, if you want this image, get onto my website. georgecoll.podia.com/ and get on my mailing list because I send these things out every week. All right, so with that detail done, I made sure I had my paints ready to go, and I want to concentrate in two areas: up here in the bushes, up in here, and this area, and also in the red cliffs or the banks. Now, I can't do all of the painting for you in this session, but the things that I tell you about here in this thing here with the junipers and also with the cliffs, you'll be able to use for all this area in the painting, okay? So, with that, let's go ahead and get started with the juniper area, okay? So if you really look at junipers, of course they have this nice rich green, but they also have some warming tops. So let's make a mixture of olive, raw sienna, olive, a little bit of permanent green. Now Naples. Oh, too much. Back to olive, raw sienna, and a touch of blue. I still need my dark for the juniper, so I'm going to go ultra blue, raw sienna, and a little bit of permanent green. All right, I'm checking my timer, and I have 26 minutes left. No problem. So I'm going to start with my number 2 Rosemary 2025 long. And looking at this area here, I see that I have some lighter color on the juniper. And you can see this mixture I made lightens it up on top. still need some darks up here, and I'll put some of those in. And I need some dark behind too. I think there's another juniper behind it, so I'm going to put some darks up in there, as well as here. Now I'm going to go back to the warmer color and put that in various places on the juniper. I see a little bit of purple in there, so I'm going to go to diazonine and some ultra and some transparent oxide brown. I'm going to soften it with some titanium white, and I'm going to put some purple in here. Very softly. Now there's a background color here. Looks like some Naples with some green in it. So I went to my lighter color, I put some Naples in it, and I'm going to make sky holes, or background holes. Background holes need to be a little bit darker than this, otherwise they bounce out too strongly. So I made mine a little dull, and I see some areas like that, and soften the bottom, and then I see a shadow, so I'll go to my purple, and I see some shadow out here. And here. I see some gray in there. I'm going to go to my light gray, and I'm going to soften some of these areas on top with the light gray. I'm going to go back with a dark, which would be transparent oxide brown, ultra blue, viridian. And I'm going to strengthen some of these darks. Like so. I need to soften and put an end to this bush right in here, I think. I'm really looking and concentrating on my background there in the photo reference. Gotta go lighter. Putting more Naples into the mixture. And I see some red, whatever mixture, I think it's some, we'll do some alizarin, some light gray. And I see some of that in these areas. And that's how I'm working around in this complicated area, like so. And I want to go back and get some lighter area on the side of this juniper. So what this painting thing's all about, everybody thinks it's drawing skills. I think it's observation. Got to really look at these things. Where's your lights? Where are your darks? And start bringing it down with what you see. And that's how you can work in those areas. I think there's a good light right on top that kind of says, hey, this is the end of this. It's to the left, right in here. I think I need a little warm in there, so let me get some transparent oxide red. I think that's what I have up here, and I'm going to start putting some lighter in it. Bring it down, and that's how you work those areas right there. Now there's lighter area on top, so I'll get up in there. I'm going Naples, Hansa Yellow Deep, Titanium. I need a little pink in there. Pink. Oh, that's coming along good. Pink. There's the right value. It was alizarin white. And I'll put some of that lighter stuff down in here too. And maybe just a touch up in here. I have too much of a glob there on the end of my brush, and I'm accenting just a little bit some of what I need here. And I need some on the bottom. And I need to extend the dark almost down to the bottom here on this lower juniper. Get some of the warmer stuff up on top of this juniper. And you can see the care and technique. I am really paying attention to the details around that bush. Okay, so let's get down into the red. All right. I need to clean my palette. Give me a second. And I think I got a good dark here. Might as well save it. And get the razor blade guy here. I hope you respect the amount of time and care I take in mixing, making sure I have a clean mixing area. It's all pretty key stuff. All right, let's look down here in the red area, and I'm going to put out some cad red light. I have alizarin, cad red light, and orange. Transparent oxide red. I think those are the things that are probably going to help us the most here. All right. So when I'm looking at this, this is really bold and sticking out. I want some of that, but not as much as I have right now. I made that judgment when I came in this morning and said, that's popping out a little too much. So let's go with some alizarin. And some gray, light gray. And now some transparent oxide red. Back to alizarin. And I need some cad red light in there to spruce it up a little. A little bit more transparent oxide red. A little bit more transparent oxide red. You see I'm doing it on one side and not the other. Okay. Let's go back to this mixture I just made, and let's put that on top. And some of it comes down. And I'm going to go over here and do the same. Now I'm going to go to the lighter side and work that out. I think if I try it on here, it's too dark. So I'm going to lighten it up with titanium white and a little bit of cad orange. Cad orange. Cad orange is really kind of a weak. There we go. I think we're coming into something a little lighter. And let's go in here and start putting bits of it. Let it fade down just a little bit as we go down. And go back to a darker in here. I'm going to add a little bit of viridian to this red mixture. Alizarin. Viridian. Alizarin, boy, that viridian is strong. I should not have put that much in there. And let me knock that down just a little bit with some titanium white. And let's go back to the lighter color now and work the rest of this wall. And some of it comes up pretty high. And then some are really light, like right in here. And here. And I'm going to go to this darker mixture I made and put it in down by this base. Let me get back and take a look. Hey, looking good. I think I'm a little too dark right here. So I will knock that down a little bit. I think I have a shape problem here. I have to bring this wall in a little bit. So I'm going to bring some of this green juniper thing in here and some maples and bring this in right there. Just notice that. Oop. Don't do too much. And I need a little bit lighter value in here, so I'm going to do a little bit of a switcheroo right here. Back to darker. There we go. And there's kind of a sweep that comes out here and then down here. You can really kind of see the shape that you may have missed previously. There's some good darks in here. So I'll put some in. All right, I'm going to turn around here and look at my time thing. And I think you can use these same techniques from the left. You can go do it on the right side of the painting too. But you know, you got to take your time a little bit. This is not a race. So with that, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee and explain next how to work inside this area between the two cliffs. Using some of the same techniques I used up here on the junipers. So let's get in there. Now I see some pink stuff up in here, so I'm going to add some, oh, I think it's that, you know, cad red light, some white titanium, white titanium. And there's a little bit of green in it. So let's just start working on that. I think this is high here. Comes down, there's another high here. This is even higher. And then I have a lower spot. So to get to where I want to be, I have to work around to get there. I want to get here, but I see some mistakes up here, so I'm bringing this down in there. And I think this has to go over here and be larger. Okay, let's get down below here and work on him. First of all, we need some good darks under here and some good darks here and here. Let's go back to a juniper color. I did have some dark juniper left over and some light, so I'm going into that and getting that correctly proportioned to the shape I need in this painting. Now let's go to the lighter juniper and add some of that. Let's get some permanent green in there. Lighter, greener. Let's see if this is too light. Nope, that's fine. And let's get some green in the juniper. So it's a darker green, richer green. I put some Terra Verde, I think, in there. All right, now, let's see the time. 7 minutes. What am I worried about? Jeez. There's some light green down to the lower left. Let's make sure we get that. Even lighter. And let's get that. And some up in here. This has got some red in the bank here. Let's get that done. Then it's got some dark. It's got a dark section right over here. I think it kind of carries over here a little bit with some darks. So, yeah, I mean, it's observation. Just really look at your reference. And sign up for my references, for gosh sakes. Go to my website. Okay, I see some darker gray in the shadows. So I'm adding some purple and some gray. Purple, diazazine. Too much diazazine. Take it down a little. And let's get into here. And let's add a little red in there too. Little bit of red in here and here. And there's a good dark right in here. There's kind of a bow to it. And there's a big hunk of dark right here. Must be a little juniper or something up in here. So I'll make a little juniper, a junior juniper right in here. And I see some lighter green right off into here. Lighter green, please. I'll put some permanent in here. Permanent white. And some lighter lights in here. Darn it, I'm just not getting it. I need some lights. Going to my old standby. I added some maples to the green. And it did it! It worked. All right. Let me get some purples over here. Let's go to the lower section in here. We've got a really good dark right in the bottom here. So I'm going to go blue, brown, and red. Red, alizarin. And let's get that in, like right in here. It's a really good hunk of dark right in here somewhere. Since I have this really nice dark, I'm going to put it in right here. And I don't see why I should have this dark. I will bring him down. All right. Oh, this area is looking nice, but it's a little too dark right here, and I need some lights above it. So that is a Naples light. Let's get some light, 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 right in here. It's really light. And it's really light over in here too. And a few lights spread across this area. See those little light strokes I put right in here to try to get that light in there. Whew. So I basically started out with these large shapes, these color values, and now that I've got my shapes in correctly and my color balance is pretty good, now I'm going back in and really defining those shapes and values with more detail. That's what we're doing here today. So off camera, I like you to work the more of your bushes and also your right bank. All right? All right. Thank you for coming by for part 3, and I will see you in part 4. I hope we finish, but if you get your homework done and I get my homework done, I think this is going to go pretty easy in part 4. All right, so subscribe to my website and yeah, get those images, and I've got a whole library of videos in my website that you can have access to if you sign up for my monthly subscriptions. Okay, thanks for coming by.